3, 2, 1, boom. Incredible opening shot here. We have found the confluence. Hang on. By the way, this is Energy Boom 101. I don't care what today's date is. We'll figure it out eventually, but we're excited right now because we have physically found the confluence. Now get ready for this. It gets even better. District of... Okay, so it says districts to decriminalize possession of marijuana on the same page as Chevron. So there is your crude oil, Chevron, and there's your cannabis. There's the confluence of crude and cannabis right there on today's, look at this, amazing forensic work we used here. The confluence of crude and cannabis right there, coming together to polish the lens of optimism from crude oil and compassion from cannabis, polish the lens through which we're now looking, check this out, get ready, at Boom You, boom! And also we are live here from Cafe Plaid, also known as the USS Pladio at times. The most incredible mural ever right back there. You're probably going to see that as a few background shots as we go over the narrative. But we want to tell you that the confluence here is about the connection of crude oil and cannabis, and we track it every day right here on Wall Street. So let's just get it going and introduce the show with our favorite slogan, which is connecting crude oil to consciousness, one gusher at a time. But let's get you off the top of the key with the four-leaf clover. That is a collection, that's an incredible index of stocks representing a broad swath of the cannabis community, the budding cannabis community, including medical marijuana, top of the key there. Not a whole lot happened today, you can tell, not much movement at all there. Get ready for a flurry of activity, by the way. The next one down is cannabis science. Now that was down about 3% today, so that means there's probably a degree of action there, but nothing to really jump into. We can look at that a little bit later. The next one down is Grow Life. And we remember there the picks and the shovels of the green boom, but they're diversifying. Now they're up 4%, so that's a nice little inhalation there. We'll want to look into that and see what may be causing that. No one knows, but we'll look into it. Hemp also down about 4% today. So for the four-leaf clover, and that's the four-leaf clover, is this part of the confluence. The confluence, of course, is this entire sector of crude oil stocks and cannabis stocks that come together here every day at Boom U. And we found it, obviously, the amazing confluence that we found today in the Wall Street Journal, right there, marijuana and Chevron on the same page, boom. But no huge earth-shattering news other than let's just take a look and see if there's anything we can see about Grow Life that would suggest why it moved 4% today. And then we're going to get into the Wall Street Journal because there's tons of news on the energy game and its global implications, so that's huge. That's where we're going to bring in the crude aspect of the confluence, and then we'll probably even do an oil patch jazz later on. I'm sure we'll do that, but I don't know if we'll get to it at this episode. So here we go. Let's look at it. Grow Life today. Check this out. First thing it's always fun to look at, it's average volume. Average number of shares that trade per day are 41 million. So today it traded 15 million, a third of that, and yet it was up 4%. So probably basically for the day it was a bunch of investors coming in. Who knows why? I don't have a clue why anyone would do anything, but let's see if there's any news that we can correlate with that. Let's see here. Big marijuana's poster child, Diego Pellicer, chills out. No clue who that is or what that means. Should Congress regulate marijuana to protect children? Let's see how marijuana became a real estate play. So who knows? This whole industry is completely just budding like crazy. So there's enormous information every day on it. Tons of it's promoting. I don't see any real huge news here as to why Grow Life went up 4% today, and considering the volume was a third of what it normally is, I would suggest to you that today's movement was just basically some investors coming in, and who knows why, but that's half the fun of trying to figure out the market. So that's really all we have for you today as far as the confluence, or as far as the four-leaf clover. But as far as the confluence itself, let's go ahead and look down and see if there's any real activity in the crude end of the business. And let's start with our buddy APCO. We love APCO out of Tulsa, but they drilled down in Argentina, and they're 76% owned by I think it's WPX Energy. And no big movement there today, but we still expect, we call that she'll be coming around the bend when she comes. Same with Osage, down 1% today, but we still think she'll be coming around the bend when she comes. Let's see with Unit, our fun little vertically integrated driller up in Tulsa, nothing big today. How about Continental? They had some big news on Hank Ham's stock. big news. We'll get to that, kids, in the newspaper. This is for today, or for right now, this is Yahoo Finance that we're looking at 5 minutes in the hour here. And we'll get to the newspaper eventually. But Continental, no real activity on Wall Street, which would probably suggest no real concerns about today's court ruling that was published. We'll get to that later. Chesapeake, no real activity there. Sandridge, no real activity there, but a couple good articles, which is always interesting. We'll try and get to that. Actually, we won't even get to it. All we're going to do is have it pointed out to you, and you can look at it. But this is from Seeking Alpha, Sandridge Energy. What are the assets worth? I don't know. We're going to read it later. You should probably read it because the assets may be worth a lot more than they're given credit for right now. There's a ton of energy-related business in today's Wall Street Journal. So what I'm going to do is take the advantage of setting the camera down and letting you enjoy this amazing view of the, well, I'd let you see that thing right there. It's the most amazing mural, but I really don't want to invade these individuals' privacy. So what I may do is just shoot out here and let you see Boom U, and then we can do a newspaper review. Actually, if you're ready for it, I can probably do the newspaper review in one hand, just refer to it, and you're just going to have to go read it for yourself. But first off, right off the top of the bat is huge, and it's today's Wall Street Journal. You can see right here, and this is the marketplace section, which is B, section B1. Go below the fold, prepare yourself for this. The U.S. does have a weapon against Putin. It's energy. Read that, folks. That's required reading today on Energy Boom 101. And we'll even show you where it continues. You go to the next page. You can't believe this, kids. It's right there. Energy, America's weapon. Boom. Read it. All right. So what else is there in the paper today that would be worthy of crude oil stories? Here's a big one. Judge rips lawyer, hands win to Chevron. So Chevron Energy, big energy company. There's a big story there you want to read. There's always Putin and Obama, tough talk on the Ukraine, okay. You got to love Putin. He's unbelievable. We're probably going to want to watch all this unfurl because clearly a lot of that is tied up into the whole energy game. There's tons of stuff in here. I would recommend you just get today's Wall Street Journal and read the thing before you just are completely bored. Now, if we have time, actually, you know what? We have time to do an oil patch jazz. That's what we'll probably, well, I don't even know if we have time for that. We can do it. We can do an oil patch jazz. Right now you just got activity coming and going here at the Plateau here, live from the Boom U, the crucible of consciousness, of course. That's what Boom U is. Any good college is a crucible of consciousness, and today we may even try and chase the narrative a little bit. Let's see here. Let's go back to the Wall Street Journal, and let's see if there's anything in the, let's go with the money and investing page. That's the C section, section C. There's always probably something in there that has something to do with energy. And the beautiful thing is, I think if I remember correctly, this is usually the fun area that lets you see like what's happening in the big sectors of Wall Street. See if it's moving quick. Yeah, this is always a great little page to look at. Like this right here is the percentage of gainers and losers for the day. Percentage, that's international. Percentage gainers, percentage losers, volume. That's a fun way to sort of see what may be going on. Like, for example, there's big news today in Hank Ham's company, Continental Resources, concerning the fact that he'll be able to hang on to a significant portion of his common shares in Continental based on the divorce he's having with his wife, and I suspect she's probably wanting to get her hands on a lot of those shares. So we'll see how that turns out, but the fun thing is it looks like that may have influenced the investment grade spreads that tighten the most, whatever that means. But here it is, investment grade spreads that tighten the most on Wall Street, and there's Continental Resources. So who knows if the reason Continental Resources investment grade spreads tightened the most, whatever that means, which I think is their bonds, could be that there was a favorable court ruling today, basically, that said Hank Ham's shares in Continental seem to be pretty safe for now, so don't worry about any blitzkrieg happening. That's probably the big news we've got in the Wall Street Journal now. The Daily Oklahoman always has tons of stuff. Of course, here it is. Boom, get ready for it. We still have time for Oil Patch Jazz, kids, because we're right now we're at 10 minutes into the hour. So we're going to be able to throw in some Oil Patch Jazz, and you know it, you love it, you need it. But the first thing we're going to show you is just Oklahoma City, evidence of Oklahoma City's boom. Energy Boom 101, Evidence 101. Right here, Will Rogers World Airport considers $70 million expansion. Well, they'll probably do the $70 million expansion based on the demand for more flights coming and going into Action City, Boomtown, USA. We're going to go straight into, I think we'll go straight into Oil Patch Jazz as we sort of allow the coming and going. Oh, look at this, here it is. Judge rules on Stock and Harold Hamm's divorce. Okay, here, you get to go read it, actually. That's your homework for the day. And how about this? BP announces plan to separate U.S. division into new company. Pretty huge. Oh, check this out. Top Oklahoma producers of natural gas, Chesapeake. Top producers in oil, Chesapeake. Wow. By the way, this is really sort of a fun overview of Oklahoma. Who are the top natural gas producers in Oklahoma? Chesapeake doubles the next person, which is BP America, who we're talking about right here, is spinning off their entire U.S. division to take advantage of what they call unlocking the value of U.S. shale. You go read the story. But they're the second largest producer of natural gas in Oklahoma. Devon, gotta love Devon. Third, Newfield, I don't know if Newfield's private. XTO Energy, guess who that is, kids? That's Exxon. Exxon bought XTO Energy, so Exxon's big in the state. But this is good too. Oil, which by the way is bringing a lot more premium price than gas right now. But oil, big producer, top of the charts, Chesapeake right there. Below them, Citation, amazing. Never heard of Citation, yet they are the second largest oil producer. That's worth research. If we can hire one reporter right now, if we can create one job, let's put a reporter on the case of Citation. Third place, Chaparral, you know of them, publicly traded. Fourth place, Sandridge, you know of them. Fifth place, Lynn, publicly traded. So this is really interesting stuff. We may not get to Oil Patch Jazz because we're really finding out a lot about Oklahoma's natural gas and oil producers. And by the way, I can't resist saying this, but you may want to thank Mr. McClendon for gathering the assets or the talent that is now making Chesapeake the largest natural gas and oil producer in the state. Let's get back to BP. BP is going to spin off their U.S. divisions so they can basically redeploy their capital and unlock what they call the big value in U.S. shale. Shocker there, kids. Follow BP. They'll do well. There's actually one other thing that's sort of fun. Post-Rock, we used to talk about Post-Rock. They're a nice little energy company, but we can't follow everyone, so they may have something going on there if you care to follow it. But we are, and prepare yourself, getting ready to jump into Oil Patch Jazz. This is, I think, how we'll settle it down here. We're only at 12 minutes. So let's start it out with completions. You have, check this out, Garfield County, which I think is, I don't know where the hell that is. That may be Enid, but Longfellow Energy, 581 barrels of oil a day, and they're going down 11,000 feet. That's probably pretty good economics, I'd bet. Now, Grady County, next one down, that's Chickasha, and I believe that is probably the Woodford Shale, but we'll see. Quantum Resources got one at 176 barrels a day. Quantum Resources got another one at 127 barrels a day. They're going down about 10,000 feet on that one. So that's probably not the Woodford Shale. I don't know. Harper County, you got Apache, and they got one at 212 barrels a day. By the way, trust me, Apache will start getting huge wells. And then we go down to Kingfisher County, and we hear from Longfellow again, and I think they drill 5 wells in Kingfisher County, and they get some pretty good production. So here's one for 401 barrels a day. Here's one for 575 barrels a day. Here's one for 145 barrels a day. Top of the key up here, folks. Here's one for, now we're out of control here. My cameraman's lost it. Here's one for 131 barrels a day, and here's one for 108 barrels a day. So 5 wells, Kingfisher County, Longfellow, probably pretty good numbers there. No big things today in completions, but a few gushers, no doubt about it. Longfellow gets the gusher award of the day for 581 barrels a day. As far as intent to drill, that's who's coming up. Let's see if we got some fun stuff to look forward to. We always do here at the Oil Patch Jazz, which is about to peak out at 15 minutes, but here we go. Sandridge Energy, we'll hear from them a lot in Alfalfa County. Once again, northwest Oklahoma, Mississippi line played. They're going to be drilling 3 wells up there. They'll be drilling a hell of a lot more than that, but that's what they're showing us. Creek County, you got Dexon. Never heard of them before. That should be fun. Ellis County, you have Les Nomen Operatin, and you have Stratland. They'll be drilling up there. Then Kingfisher County, you're going to have Gas Star. Interesting there. Gas Star is a publicly traded company that I believe Chesapeake used to have a pretty good stake in, so it'll be fun to follow them. You've got Hinkle Oil and Gas. I think they're private. And then in Logan County, remember that, kids? That's north of here, and that's around Guthrie. And Logan County has Slauson operating wells, and Slauson does a partnership with Osage, and Osage is part of the Confluence, so prepare yourself. It's all coming together. Who else we got intent to drill? We got Okmulgee County, good county up there. They got WFD, whoever the hell that is. And then in Woods County, that's also the Mississippi line, northwest Oklahoma. You're going to have mid-states, mid-states, and mid-states. So tons and tons and tons of oil logs to come for a long time to come that will be